E aí galera, aqui é o Khajiits e este é o Raditando, tudo bem com vocês? Hoje vamos continuar nossa saga pelo mapa de Elsweyr. Esta vai ser a segunda parte desta aventura. Mas antes de continuar, não esqueça de se inscrever no canal e deixar aquele like, valeu? Então, vamos lá, logo após a vinheta. No último vídeo nos encontramos Tamriel escavando uma lápide e conversando com ele, ele concordou em nos ajudar. Agora vamos conversar com Abnoutar. Eita ferro, dragão!
Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm
Cara, deu conta do dragão
Abnoutar and
sozinho, ó.
not, well, some lesser mage.
Você derrotou um
I
dragão?
discouraged it, but not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything?
Você estava certo, era Khajiits. Ele foi atraído por uma velha sepultura de alguém chamado Traidor.
The betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to harm me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support?
Khajiits concordou em ajudar, mas você deve saber que ele está tendo alguns sonhos estranhos.
That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns?
Você mencionou as lendas de Kunzari.
Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiits moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell.
Beleza. Então, vamos ver aqui. Camila.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Walker, it truly does.
O que posso fazer para ajudar?
The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet.
Por que você não pode pedir a retirada?
Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters. Documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker.
Esses documentos são realmente importantes?
They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
Vou encontrar os documentos, entregá-los lá na Lador e encontrá-los no sul do acampamento.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them?
Eita.
This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here?
Eu sou Félix Joe. Camila me pediu para recuperar esses documentos e entregá-los a você.
Right moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life.
Quem você acabou de matar?
That was one of Euraxia, the usurper queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold to consult with Garashri. We must find a way to go on.
Há quanto tempo a Euraxia vem empregando necromantes?
Euraxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnorthorn and Carmilla. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
Eu vou encontrar Abnotar e passar a mensagem.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought?
Eu encontrei os documentos e dei para Nalado. Ela foi para Riverhold conversar com Garashri.
I must join them there. The Khajiit forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Garashri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me.
Nalado disse que o necromante-chefe de Euraxia, Zumokfon, deixou recentemente seus seguidores para Elsweyr.
Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Foom and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind the miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location.
Você sabe que eu sou necromante, certo? Que massa, cara.
I've dabbled with the dark arts myself and have no objection to practitioners who want to explore the limits of death and undeath. No. I am more concerned about those mages of any stripe who use their powers to harm and destroy.
Eu posso rastrear a fonte do poder necromântico.
Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euraxia's power becomes more than we can contain.
É a primeira vez que um dragão ajudou as forças de Euraxia?
In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone.
Que legal, se eu não vou fazer com o necromante fica diferente, certo? Vou rastrear a origem dos mortos-vivos nas montanhas ocidentais e ficar de olho em Chimera.
Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Garashri would be lost without me.
Chimera não me disse para onde estava indo.
In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
What do you want?
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors?
Nenhum nem outro. Abnotar me enviou para encontrar a fonte dos mortos-vivos que atacaram o posto avançado.
Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Garashri.
Abnotar disse que você deveria voltar para Riverhold.
I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiit warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives.
Palavras poderosas, mas parece arriscado.
The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection.
Você tem um pingente conectado a Jode?
To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside and find the necromancer and the dragon. With me, stay close. We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Mornings guide us. Cut them down. For Elsweyr! For the main! Our enemy awaits, Five Claw! Destroy the necromancer!
No more excuses. No more delays. Double down. Your reanimated body. March at the head of your axis.
Cannot be broken.
Challenge Mulamnir.
Dragonfire, move!
Pathetic creatures. Little morsel. Mulamnir would talk to you. Look upon Mulamnir in despair, morsel. You have no chance against me, no chance at all. But Mulamnir can be merciful. Come, let us talk.
Você dizimou a força de defesa Khajiit e agora espera que eu fale com você?
Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Eurexia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious.
Então você espera que nos rendamos?
You and Amnathon are insignificant, but even an infinitesimal flea can irritate after it crawls beneath the scales. I offer you one last chance to survive. If you and the Battle Mage leave Elsweyr, my brothers and I will not hunt you down.
E se nos recusarmos a sair?
Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to Elsweyr. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have dealt 1,000 deaths.
A próxima morte que irei tratar será sua.
Leave Elsweyr, little morsel. Tell the Battle Mage, if I see you again.
Whiteclaw, are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp.
Camila, o que aconteceu com você depois que pulou do penhasco?
I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for.
Ele quer que Abnutar e eu deixemos Elsweyr.
We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimen throne now.
Preciso chegar a Riverhold e informar Gareshri e Abnutar.
Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
Ah, there you are. Spare a moment for a chit-chat? If we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help.
Acabei de voltar, Cadwell. Me diga o que está errado.
Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone.
Se foi? O que se foi?
The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen.
Você acha que a cabeça do traidor tem algo a ver com os dragões?
Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall with the cat general.
Vou encontrar Abnutar.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of life?
Camira e eu matamos os necromantes na montanha, mas a Euraxia tem um exército deles.
You paint a troubling picture. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report?
Eu falei com o dragão Muramir. Ele disse que Euraxia era sua marionete. Ele nos disse para deixar Elsweyr.
My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving Elsweyr, I think not. Obviously this Muramir fears us. Otherwise the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to me.
Você falou com Cadwell? Ele está preocupado com aquela sepultura perturbada onde você me enviou para encontrá-lo.
Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her.
Por que não tentar isso? Vamos falar com sua meia-irmã em Rimen.
A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my services. A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us as business at my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready.
Devemos elaborar plano para negociar com a
It
Euraxia.
just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard and personal valet.
Você quer que seja seu valete?
Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I expect to reach an accord, but still. Meet me in Rimmon and we'll enter the palace together.
Tudo bem, eu te encontro em Rimen.
Go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the palace from there. I'm relatively certain Euraxia will honor the parley, but be prepared for anything. She's still a Tharn, after all.
Me conte mais sobre sua meia-irmã, Euraxia.
We're not very close, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. Euraxia is an accomplished mage in her own right. My younger sibling has always been ambitious, but I didn't realize the extent of her aspirations until the Frostfall coup.
O golpe da geada de outono?
About 6 years ago or so, while Emperor Varen was busy with his rebellion, Euraxia took advantage of the confusion to lead a column of Nibonese mercenaries into northern Elsweyr. She declared herself Queen of Rimmon and its adjacent fiefs.
E todos apenas deixaram ela fazer isso.
Of course not. The Khajiit called her the Usurper Queen, remember? Once Varen became Emperor, he had other problems to worry about. Same with Queen Irene. As long as the Alliance War occupies her forces, the Khajiit are on their own out here.
This one hates the idea of talking to the Usurper Queen. We should be stabbing her in the neck. Still, Nalado sees the necessity, even if she doesn't like it. Euraxia will almost certainly betray you, so be careful when you face the case.
Como Euraxia se tornou a rainha de Rimen?
By marching into Elsweyr with a mercenary army and slaughtering our rightful Khajiit rulers. Not only did the usurper slay our king and queen, she murdered the rest of the royal family. Her crimes, they swarm around her like flesh flies on dung.
A parley with the usurper queen. I doubt she'll agree to any sort of diplomatic solution. But it will buy us time to replenish our resources. Very well. Take Tharn and meet with Euraxia. In the meantime, we will rebuild what remains of the militia.
Por que você se refere a Euraxia como a rainha usurpadora?
She marched into Enequina with a mercenary army and conquered Rimmon. Her forces killed the royal family and she illegally proclaimed herself queen. That makes her a usurper. I pray I...
I expected sorrow and despair. The situation here goes beyond even my pathetic ignorance.
Você tem certeza? Rimem parece pacífico para mim.
On the surface, yes. But peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related.
Medo e ameaças de violência? O que você quer dizer exatamente?
It would be better if I showed you. Follow me and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmon is far tighter than it appears.
Tudo bem, mostre-me como Euraxia mantém os Khajiits na linha.
Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me. Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than slaves.
Past Two Moons Temple. I hate to say it, but I think the monks there have gone mad.
What makes you say that?
They said they were chasing butterflies, but I couldn't see any. They
It's
were
that building over
chasing
there.
nothing.
For most of Rimmon's Khajiit, it's the only job available to them. The workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before.
O ateliê aceita apenas trabalhadores de Khajiit?
One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiiti citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but effective.
Não há nada que os Khajiits possam fazer?
The Rimmon Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Monstrous, but ingenious.
Soa como escravidão.
Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiiti, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings.
Vamos começar.
Now, let's visit the Rimmon marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be thriving, but appearances can be deceiving. It may be hard to see, but the Khajiiti merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better.
Você está dizendo que os comerciantes Khajiits são tratados injustamente?
Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiiti merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax.
Imposto de pele?
On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiiti pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land.
Vamos começar.
Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace wall. See the trebuchets? Notice how they're aimed into the city below. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success.
O que você quer dizer com o sucesso dela?
How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the Elsweyr defense force at bay? She declared publicly and has repeated often that any attempt to liberate Rimmon will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city.
Euraxia destruiria a cidade?
If Euraxia can't have Rimmon, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiit districts are targeted.
Eles podem realmente mirar as armas tão precisamente?
Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmon. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason.
Acho que é hora de irmos conversar com Euraxia Também.
When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Esta foi a segunda parte do storyline do mapa de Elsweyr, norte de Elsweyr. Espero que vocês estejam gostando do vídeo e não se esqueçam de curtir e compartilhar. Espero vocês no próximo vídeo e na continuação dessa história. Até lá!